Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to Cocktails is for Closers. I'm Matthew Hickey, CEO of Living Vogue Real Estate.
You're already drunk. It's Cocktails are for closers.
Cocktails are for closers. Yeah, I guess I've already gone down a little bit. Do we want to continue?
Yes.
All right, we'll continue this. So I'm Matthew Hickey, the CEO of Living Vogue Real Estate, here with the founder and chairman of Living Vogue Real Estate, Mark Copens, our lovely office manager, Kelly Hallowell, and Jake, which you can't see behind the scenes, taking care of everything, making sure we look good, our drinks are filled, and everything moves smoothly.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, it's not going to happen, but
perfect.
We'll figure this thing out.
I will not go back to that. Hey, what do we have here?
You guys ready to record?
I think so. What do we got?
I'm not going to tell you. You got to try it first.
Way to get this started. Purple.
Mark, get yours.
Okay. I was not imagining a purple drink when we thought about
either.
this, but okay.
Cheers.
Cheers.
And you know the rule about cheersing and looking the other person in the eye, right?
I do not. What is your rule about
Kelly?
that?
It's a rule. You got to do it or it's bad luck in love.
Oh.
They
Yes.
say.
Bad luck in love if you don't. So
All right. Cheers.
Cheers.
So do I need to keep looking at you while I'm drinking or just while I'm...
No.
At a certain point it gets weird, right?
Yeah, that would get
just
really
when you say
weird.
cheers.
Yeah. It's interesting. Okay. So when are we going to know what this is?
Later.
Later. Okay. All right.
You guys got to give me a couple guesses. I mean, you think the base-
Licorice?
Gin base.
All right.
Gin?
Yeah.
Maybe? Okay.
Yeah, I definitely would say gin.
Yeah.
I taste a little licorice.
That's all I got, man. Licorice?
I don't know what the purple is. I don't know that I've ever had a purple drink.
No. Okay.
Well, I guess we'll find out.
Yeah.
All right, so what is our topic today?
I got a good one for you guys. Breaking into the luxury real estate market as an agent. New agent.
Luxury market. Great.
My favorite subject.
Yes. Oh, as a new agent, too.
Do you get asked this a lot, actually, or you get people ask you to ask us?
I mean, a handful of times, yeah.
Interesting.
All right, so let's first put the skunk on the table. And we got to talk about these new agents who's come in, say they want to be in the luxury market, no real estate experience, no business experience, and they want to go full force into luxury.
Well, if you look on Instagram, everyone's a luxury agent, right?
Yeah.
There's nobody out there selling $200,000 mobile homes anywhere, right?
No.
So I think it's good aspirational to want to do that,
Sure.
but I don't know that it's realistic. Do you?
No, I don't. And honestly, it's, I always go back to that you've got to crawl before you can walk, right?
Yeah.
And you're absolutely right. On social media, all we see is the bling and the fancy and the, $1 million listings.
Yeah.
We don't see what actually most agents need to do to survive.
Yeah.
And then to eventually build to that level.
Yeah. So I can tell you, when I first sold $1 million listing, right? I don't know if you have a similar experience, but it wasn't right away. It took me a while. Did it take you a pretty long time too? Yeah. So and mine was completely random. I actually paid for a Zillow lead, and they turned out to be a $3 million client. But
That was your first kind of jump into it.
Yeah. And it I had no idea what I was doing, but I had a nice car. I was, in my 40s. I hadn't been to college, so I had a background that I could kind of draw on. But if I had been 23 years old or 21 or with no experience in life, it would have been a challenge for sure.
Yeah.
So,
well, and when I think about how I got my start and the number of people that I have talked to, like if you look at my database right now, I can't even tell you how many, 2,000, 3,000 people on there, right? Those are the people that gave me their information. But you don't like the twist?
no, I don't like the twist.
I got to say, I do like this.
Okay.
I don't know that I'm a fan of the color, but I actually do like the flavor.
No, there's a little twang in
color
there
was
that's
meant to
just,
throw you off.
yeah.
So, but no, if you look at the database that I have, the number of people that I've talked to, And of course, the database is only a reflection of the people who actually said yes and gave me their information. So out of those people, the number of closings that I had that were anywhere in the, let's say, $500 to $1 million range versus those that are $1 million plus, it's such a small number. And I think so many new agents think that, some of them, sure, dumb luck, they can come by and somebody, you get a $3 million
We've had
listing.
a few of those for sure. I mean, I've had a few of those as well.
Yeah.
So,
but the reality is you have to build a database, right?
Yeah.
You have to know the market. You have to build some credibility.
Your confidence as well.
Sure.
Yeah, it's very unlikely, especially on the listing side. You're never going to get $1 million listing or a $4 million, $5 million, $10 million listing as a new agent unless you know the person that's selling the home.
Yeah.
Right. And even then, sometimes they'll ask you to bring another agent on.
Yep.
So as a buyer's agent, unless they come in on floor time, which we do have those here.
Mm-hmm.
Not to toot our own horn
One
a
of
little
the
bit,
benefits,
but toot. It's really it's just a difficult thing. You have to have. It's more of a mentality. I mean, you need to know about the market, right?
Sure.
But it's more of you need to know luxury buyers or people that have that sort of wealth are a different client. They think differently. They do different things.
Yeah.
Things are important to them that may not be important to the average, $500,000 condo buyer, right? Mm-hmm. So until you're able to think like that, and not, you don't need to be wealthy to sell to wealthy people, obviously, but you need to understand that when you walk into a place, you may think the view is amazing and you go right to the view. Mm-hmm. But if I'm worth $100 million, of course there's a view there. Like they expect things like that. That's like going into a $500,000 condo and being impressed with white cabinetry, right? Just what, it's an expectation. So until you're able to think like that as a luxury agent, you're really not going to be successful in the market because you can't relate to the client. You can't speak the way they,
All right. So on that note, so you talked about confidence, talk about, knowing the client. You hear this all the time, fake it till you make it. I have differing opinions on that. There's part of me that says, yes, that's okay to a certain extent. But you don't want to overextend that to where you're saying something that you have absolutely
don't lie. Yeah. But I'm 100% fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
I'm when I first started in this, people looked at me like, who the is this guy coming into this $5 million home? I'd never seen this person, never heard of this company. I worked for a different company then, even smaller company, and but I acted like I belonged there.
Yeah. And so where did that confidence come from?
Well, kind of an arrogant asshole sometimes.
You just let's just go. I'm doing it.
I mean, again, I was in my 40s. I have an MBA. I worked in corporate America. Yeah. I've traveled the world, right? So I have different life experiences. But that's not to say you have to have that background, right? You can be 20 years old and confident. You need to be confident and competent.
Yeah.
And if you don't know something, you need to be able to learn it quickly, right? So, but yeah, it's people don't need to know how many closings you have unless they ask. Then you're not going to flat out lie to them. Mm-hmm. But details that they may want you to have experience, they may want you to, whatever, gloss over that. Control the conversation and focus it in a way that's advantageous to yourself.
I can tell you one way, and I just remember this, that I built a little bit of confidence when I was new, because I've got a background in fitness, right? So I own several gyms. Got into real estate when I moved here to Sarasota. I didn't really know the area. And when I had showings, especially showings that were in the $1 million plus range, I would always go to the property first. And if it was a condo, I'd go and talk to the concierge there.
Yeah.
Find out more about it.
Well, that's just put in the work.
Yeah.
You got to put it in the
Sometimes you find out there's 2 elevators.
Yeah.
And the unit that you're going to is the south elevator, not the north one. But the north one's the closest one, so you would assume that's where you're going.
Yeah. Well, you got to know the property inside and out. Again, wealthy people, they care about transportation. How close are you to the airport? Mm-hmm. Schools, if they have school-age children, you got to know every single school. And they don't care about the middle school, the public middle school. They want to know what private schools are available. Is there a bus pickup? Do you have to drive them there? Is there a service they provide that get people to pick up your kids in the morning? that is how you speak their speak, right?
Yeah.
So again, it's a different mentality and lifestyle when you do things like that.
So on the social media realm, because obviously we talked about, or you brought up, what you see on social media is all the flash and the high dollar properties. If you were trying to tap into the luxury market as a new agent, is that all you would show, or would you try and have a mix of different properties on there and different stories?
Yeah, I don't know. What do you think? You're the social expert here.
I think it's always important to highlight the big ones, but I think kind of on the relatability, you build relatability to maybe those not luxury clients in the beginning. If your focus is those luxury people, then yeah, that's what you're going to want to put out there, because you want them to see that that's what you do and that's all you do.
I'm not a good example. I'm like the I'm the Instagram diva, so you won't see anything, that's, but I don't know. It at the end of the day, none of that stuff matters, right? Because people that are high net worth really they're not on Instagram looking at your damn
exactly my thought.
So, at the brokerage level, we do that to recruit agents, right? Mm-hmm. And to get notoriety, brand recognition, but it's really not to gain high net worth clients, because they don't have time to be on Instagram surfing your reels. So
I think so many agents spend so much time and so much of their focus on their angles and their videos and everything that they're posting. And I do see a lot of value in doing that. But if you're not showing properties, if you're not lead generating, what are you really doing?
It needs to be everything. Social media is about, you need to promote your brand. You need to establish yourself as an agent. When someone learns, or when you go on an interview for a listing, they may look at your social media after that as kind of a reference point. So it needs to look good. But it's not the be all and end all, right? So if you're a new agent, you're not going to break into the luxury market by going out and doing videos at $10 million properties and acting like it's your listing, right? Those all look great, but it's just not going to get you those clientele.
Yeah,
it's going to give you some recognition from other agents and get your name out there as a brand, and eventually, that will pay dividends in the end. But it's not the best thing you can be doing to get, clientele like that.
Yeah. I like that you just said brand. And let's talk about this. And then, Kelly, I think you need to tell us what this drink is after we talk about branding. So as far as branding is concerned...
You're not even drinking yours, are you?
Are you kidding me? I've had...
Okay.
He actually likes it.
I think I've had more than you so far. And I haven't had much to eat today, so...
So I think the purple is throwing us off. I think it is just a food coloring. There's something artificial in there. I don't know. Because to me, it has like a licorice...
Yeah, it does have a licorice taste to it.
Yeah. What's the green psychedelic stuff? What is that?
Jake, no.
Chartreuse? No.
No, the psychedelic stuff.
What's the one where
you burn the sugar cube?
Yeah, the absinthe. It almost has a flavor like absinthe, but obviously it's not green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess we'll find out here shortly.
Would you send this back if you ordered it and you were like, oh, what is this?
I would not. I would totally drink it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would totally send this back. No offense. No offense. Yeah.
It's rude. Yeah.
Just one round of this one.
Yeah. I used to, so when I first met my wife, Jamie, I would order a drink and I would say, surprise me. And part of that was me like courting her to show how adventurous I was, right? Yeah. And it never ended well. It was always something terrible.
So eventually you're like, look, no more surprises.
Stop doing that. Well, she made fun of me eventually and told me that really, wasn't a thing for her. And so, and she's just the opposite. Like she literally... Well, she eats like 5 different things, right? And she drinks the same 3 things all the time.
So she hated when you said surprise me, because she's expecting she's got to come up with something new every
blew
single
her
time.
mind. Yeah, like how could you do that? Like, what if you don't like what comes out? And I have this whole come see, come saw. Yeah, life is short, whatever. Yeah, and meanwhile she's like, at the time, whatever, vodka soda with a spritz of Sprite or whatever her drink was, and now it's all margarita. If you Jamie, that's all she does. Yeah, it's margaritas.
Spicy or regular?
Skinny margarita with what's the George Clooney tequila? I forget.
Casamigos.
Casamigos. Yeah. But it has to be Casamigos
Blanco.
No,
no,
doesn't
not
like that. The rest
that's actually better sipped.
Sorry, I'm butchering the Spanish there. Yeah, it has to be that. So, and then it turns into be like a $40 margarita that all tastes the same to me anyway.
Of course, that's luxury, baby.
Yeah.
All right.
So what is this?
No, so branding. Let's do that before we actually flip over to getting the recipe. So everyone will get the recipe. We'll find out exactly what it is.
You will.
Branding for an agent who wants to get into the luxury market. Do they need to come up with their own tagline, their own look, like as far as even colors of branding and it's a separate social media account versus their private?
I guess my approach is different. I wouldn't even, if I'm a new agent, I'm going to focus on bread and butter, properties. I'm not even going to look at luxury stuff, right? Mm-hmm. I'm going to focus on trying to get some wins under your belt, establish yourself, learn the market, learn the streets, and put off the luxury thing for a year or so. Now, I mean, you can brand yourself as luxury. Maybe that's what you're asking, but
I see these new agents with luxury in their name.
Yeah, but sometimes that backfires because obviously I'm a practicing agent still. I'm sure a bug got in here. Beautiful 100-year-old building. So I sold a $200,000 villa this year. I sold a $15 million house, right? So I still go after whatever the business is that comes to me. So I may brand myself luxury as an agent, but you got to be careful because if you go on that $200,000 appointment with all your luxury branding, sometimes it can scare people off, right? So,
plus, you never know who that $200,000 person knows.
Yeah.
So treat them just as well.
That's true. I've done that before. Yeah, I've sold $150,000 house to the son of somebody that bought a $4 million house.
Yeah.
And had no idea there was a connection before that. So
okay. Yeah. So kind of going back to the crawl before you can walk.
Yeah.
Yeah,
in terms of focus of your efforts, focus on getting wins.
Yeah.
But, branding, just don't lean into it too heavy because it turns some people off. It definitely, if you're an experienced agent, Oliver and I kind of chuckle all the time at how many agents we see saying they're luxury, right?
Yeah.
But they don't sell anything. Or if they do, it's definitely not a luxury world. So, a lot of that stuff kind of backfires, I think, sometimes.
Yeah, I agree. All right. So thank you on that note.
All right, you ready to find out?
Let's see what this thing is.
Yep. Let's see.
All right, so this is a fun twist on a classic. The Aviator. The Aviation. The Aviation cocktail.
Okay.
In the spirit of
so pilots would drink this before they got in there?
Hopefully not. Maybe you'll get there a little bit quicker.
So say that again about taking to new heights.
I said in the spirit of taking things to new heights.
I like that.
Aviation cocktail.
Okay.
Yep.
She's working on her branding and taglines over there. Okay. So what is in an aviation cocktail then?
We're going to start, it's Empress Gin. That gives it the color. It's that dark, almost indigo-looking gin.
So it's the actual gin.
So the gin itself is...
That's a component. Then it's creme de violette. I believe I'm saying that right. It's a
creme de violette.
It's a berry liqueur, but it has almost a dark purple. So it's almost a blue and a purple. And then maraschino liqueur. I think that's where you're getting the licorice flavor. Okay. And it's supposed to be cool cherries, but I got maraschino by accident, so we did a lemon twist.
Well, that's what the problem is. See, yeah. Okay, skimping out on us. Yeah.
All right, so we're going to take a break, and you're actually going to show everyone how to make it, right?
Yes, I am.
All right, so we'll be back in a minute.
Hey guys, today for Mark and Matt, we have a special twist on a classic drink, the Aviation. We're going to go ahead, we have our martini glass here, chilling with some ice in it. We're going to go ahead and start with 2 ounces of Empress Gin right into your shaker. Then we're going to go ahead and do a half ounce of maraschino liqueur. And a 1/4 ounce of creme de violette, this beautiful purple liqueur. We're going to go ahead and do the juice of half of a lemon, squeeze that right in.
get your ice, and we're gonna shake. Okay, go ahead and dump that nice chilled glass. Now, typically we would garnish this with a cherry. We don't have the maraschino cherries that I'm looking for, so we're gonna garnish it with a simple lemon twist. Cheers.
All right, well, welcome back. So everyone now knows what the drink is, how to make it. Yep, we enjoy it.
It's growing on me. I'll give you that.
And now Kelly has one as well. So cheers.
Cheers.
Eye contact.
Eye contact. But I don't have to look at you when I'm drinking it.
No, please don't. That was really awkward.
Ooh, yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
It's just, there's a bite in the beginning.
This one's a little bitier, actually. Right?
It's good.
Maybe
yeah, we so for those of you that don't know, when we took this break, we got a little extra refill too. So yeah. No, it's good.
Jake, did you add a little something in there, a little sugar or something too?
Ah, you know that's what it is. So this is about to get really good.
Yeah, so some mystery ingredients. Okay.
All right, so let's go back to the topic, luxury listings and luxury market. I know you've been doing this for a while now. So you've got to have...
Well, not really. You make me sound like one of those agents that says, I've been doing this for 20 years.
Well, no, I mean, you still have... And you barely have any gray in your hair, so you're still good.
8 years. 8 years.
All right, so in those 8 years, tell us a story that, I mean, just one of those crazy deals that you never would have imagined happen. And...
See, this is when we need to be careful about recording things.
Okay, so first of all, no names.
Okay.
No addresses.
Names. Yeah, no names, no addresses. Okay, actually, go back to my first luxury client.
Okay.
So it was
first.
It was a Zillow lead. Met them. Guy right away, older guy, younger woman, right? No judgment. That's me and Jamie too, but not to this extent. So we're showing them properties, and he was obviously recently divorced. It seemed like this was the cause of that divorce. Again, no judgment, but we find a place, they fall in love with it. He falls in love with it, and we're showing the property. At the very end, he asks, or she asks for hey, can we go look at it by ourselves for 5 minutes? So I'm with the listing agent, very, respectable Michael Saunders agent. And so we're left in the kitchen to ourselves. They go tour the house for it's probably 5-10 minutes. And I'm fairly certain that they had sex.
Really?
In one of the bedrooms upstairs. Yeah. You could tell just from the communication and eye contact, and so there was definitely something
happened.
Yeah, completely. And
no cameras at that time.
Everyone knew it. It was like, all right, this is awkward. We're going to pretend like this didn't happen, but it's a $3 million house, so you're a little more. What am I going to do?
Yeah.
So yeah.
So
and then they're done, and things are being tucked, and hair's being straightened, and they ended up buying the house. So. Yeah.
There you go. I guess they had to try it out first.
They did. They tried things out for sure. Yeah, it was very interesting.
Interesting. Yeah. I do like that. All right. So I like that story. I guess we need to kind of wrap this up a little bit. Again, some of your newer agents coming into this who want to tap into the luxury market, what is your best piece of advice?
Yeah, well, first off, I would say be patient, right? Go after lower hanging fruit, set more attainable goals, and really put in the work to start getting some wins under your belt, right? And then naturally larger listings and buyers will come from that. Get all your marketing so that you look respectable. Don't overdo it. Don't act like you sell $10 million homes when you don't. And put in the hard work. Go. There's no reason why. We talked about this before. Go door knocking, right? It's a lost art form.
Yep.
People are very hesitant to do that on waterfront properties. They feel like it's already being done. No one's doing that.
Yeah, I think we talked about it. It's a common misconception,
the top
right?
50 agents are not out door knocking. They may have people on their teams that are knocking on doors, but they're probably not either, right?
Yeah.
So
well, they're probably passing out flyers or mailing flyers, right? They're doing mailers, but they're not out.
All the more expensive stuff that any great agent eventually does. But when you get to a certain point, I'm not knocking on doors. I don't have the desire to do that.
Yep.
But if you're charismatic, if you put in the effort, if you know the streets and the schools and the lifestyle, there's no reason why you can't knock on a $10 million door and potentially win them over as a client. This industry is all about personality and relationships. And as much as we love our brokerage, it has less to do with your brokerage you work for and more of you as an individual agent.
Yeah.
So if you just have that confidence and competence, and there's the people that have been doing this for a long time don't have to do that because they have the name, they have the brand. They spend thousands of dollars on postcards and mail-ins and advertisements. But if you're a broke new agent, do the stuff that's free.
Yeah.
Knock on doors, cold call. Sit in the floor, do floor time, that sort of thing.
I had an old mentor used to say, lips and shoe leather. Have you ever heard that?
I have not.
Kelly, have you?
I get the gist.
You're younger. Yeah, well, and actually, we don't really, not many of us wear leather.
And shoe leather.
Yeah, so most of us don't wear leather bottoms anymore, but it's talking to people and walking the streets.
Yeah.
Lips and shoe leather.
I mean, if you're in sales, it's the same thing, right?
Yeah,
so absolutely. I was in sales before this. Had nothing to do with my... of course I had a background, but it was all about your personality and charisma and your ability to relate to people.
I think that is a great way to end the segment. Because you have that background that, which you came for, your MBA and everything else that you've done, would you do this again?
Get into real estate?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Hey, now, wait a minute. I didn't think that was going to be your answer.
Well, I mean, we're entrepreneurs, right?
Sure.
We have ownership stake. It's an interesting question, right? I tell my kids don't go into real estate, right? Because of course they want to come work for the family business, right?
Yeah.
I say go off and do something else, and then if you fall back into it, that's great. But I don't want to discourage new people. I mean, it's definitely a job where you get out of it what you put into it.
Sure.
So if you got that personality, great. If you don't, you're not going to do well.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter where you work or what you do. You need to probably do something else.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's with any venture that you go out to. If you're not willing to put in the work and the effort, or you underestimate what work and effort goes into it, it's going to be a struggle. And we see that all the time.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, good. Well, hey, I appreciate you being on.
Good talk.
Yeah. Great drinks.
Interesting drink. Thank you very much, Kelly.
New heights.
We appreciate it.
To our videographer back there, Jake. Thank you
very much. All right. Cheers. Chin chin.
We'll see you on the next one.
Thank you.